Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In this week's episode, among other things, our resident geniuses discuss a local grocery store offering Mexican foot powder of undetermined safety standards. Would you liberally apply a product that lists diatomaceous earth as its third ingredient to your feet? If things go wrong, can you sue? Who do you sue? Does Morris Bart or Jim Adler handle injuries caused by non-sanctioned Mexican foot powder? We have questions. But there is no question that it's time for these two fools. This is Dave and Juan. Bah!
And 3.
Number 2.
In most languages, that is followed by 1. Doo-doo. Yeah, it is. And we do speak most languages, so
That's right.
let's just go with it. Hey, America. Hey, how you doing, America? Did you miss us? We missed you. As far as you know, we missed you.
That's
We're
right.
back.
That's right. We've been gone for a little bit. A
Came get-
whole week.
Came get some more, and you're welcome.
You're welcome, bro.
Absolutely welcome, brud. Brud. What's the formal? You know what I'm saying? What's the
I don't know,
formal?
man. I say bro. I say bruh. Just depends who I'm talking to.
I used to work for a guy, and he called everybody B. What's up, B? I don't.
But
I
that
guess
was
that was.
short for, or
I don't know. But that was just became right. You think back, why? Oh, by the way,
yeah. What did he call you other than
Howdy.
me?
Howdy, B. How y'all doing? I'm Dave,
I'm Juan.
and this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure he called me lots of things
All right.
besides B. Not all, some to my face, and I'm quite sure.
So somebody, talk about speaking other language. Somebody sent me a note yesterday and said, in last week's podcast, Dave was talking about that guy at Walmart with the bike, and he called him a word, and I think it started with a C, but it wasn't couillon, but it was like it was a Cajun word. And my response was, I don't pay attention to Dave. So you go back and listen, or I'll ask him tomorrow.
You're thinking about what you're going to say next. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
This ain't an active listening procedure here.
Right,
It's
right.
it's. Oh, I'll be honest. I
yeah.
do that all the time. I mean, it's not. I wish I wouldn't do it as much, but sometimes when I go back and see it the second time, I think, oh, Juan just said something funny right there. I just blew right through it.
So I said maybe it was chew,
Or chew.
cock chew.
No, quack. No, it's not a
chew.
cock.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not a cock.
Quack
It's a
chew.
quack chew. Saucy
So
and quack chew.
I'm guessing that's what it was. So
Whatever. I don't know what I
but
should have
I
called the
wouldn't go
guy.
back listening.
So they just wanted you to
Yeah, they
clarify
wanted,
what it was.
They
Man.
called you first and last name, Dave Martin. Said as though I wouldn't have known which Dave
That's
they were
right.
talking about.
Maybe I'm in trouble, man. When they use your full name. Well, you just got my brain thinking here about speaking one language. So it's one of those days. Social media, right? It's awesome and it's terrible, especially when other people are just doing really cool stuff. Right. And I know I tell that to everybody as well. Do not compare your normal life to everybody else's highlight reel, because that's what's going on. But I've had friends that they were in Europe recently, but I've got one friend right now in Iceland and vacationing in Iceland, and another one that's heading from England to Greece. Right. And I'm looking at that while I'm waiting in the line at Popeyes today. Just.
Yeah. See, I got a friend.
I think I won.
Exactly. There yesterday, I was on social media looking. They're in Rome. It's people we know, and their daughter swims with my daughter. Just the end of the summer trip. That's what they're.
Man,
I drove to Columbus, Texas yesterday and followed a guy dragging a bumper for 10 miles. So
you did put that clip out there, but yeah. So just one of those perspective things. You sit in the drive up. But I said I was the only monolingual guy in I think on that block. It makes you wonder. They ought to have cameras out there, because and this isn't the first time I've ever ordered Popeyes, and I guess this is on me. You just kind of pull up and, I guess I'll get the, what is it? The 16 family meal, 16 piece, whatever the deal is. And I guess I'm used to, you don't have, I guess what I should have said is, hey, I want the 16 piece regular or 16 piece, right? Because I want spice. So I said, yeah, give me the 16 piece. And then the guy comes back. And like I said, I know I've said this before. Whenever you have somebody with an accent, don't be too annoyed. That just means they know one more language than you do. At least one more language than you do. So and it's an intercom. And he says, I'm not even going to try to do, say, da-da-da or burger. I'm like, I'm sorry. Why? Because he wanted to know if I wanted spicy, which I could have figured out, or classic. Do you order it classic?
No, I thought it was spicy or mild.
Myself. But the guy wanted to know if I wanted, and I should have, I guess my brain wasn't, I wasn't totally functioning. And I was trying to like, what? You want spicy? And I couldn't really make it spicy, or he was saying classic. And after about the third time, he says classic. I went, oh, you mean regular? Yeah, give me. So maybe that's the new Popeyes. Maybe they
upgraded the menu.
They're classing up the joint.
So,
But sat in the drive up window.
Speaking of fast food,
and we
saw pretty soon in Cutoff, Louisiana, your old neck of the woods. They're not going to be asking where's the beef anymore.
It's bringing it, and God bless America. God bless America, and that'll show you the times we live in, right? Because Hurricane is Ida, right? It was Ida. Just the last one was.
I think so.
Yeah. And if shame on me for I'm sure it's etched in people's brains.
Right at 2 years ago or 23 months ago, probably.
How bad it just tore up everything, and people trying to get back to use. But yeah, big announcements, man. Big announcement. It looked like there was a donut place. It was an old.
It had been a donut, yeah. So I guess that probably got hurricaned out, and now Wendy's is making its way in.
Y'all, we are excited for you, Galliana Cutoff, whatever it is, on the new road. It's always going to be the new road to me, but yeah, it is, and I get it. It's both encouraging. It's sad how excited I was for the folks. Because that was people were just posting that up on Facebook, man.
Dude,
like
they're excited.
Fired up. We got a Wendy's coming to and good for them.
Yeah.
I will make it.
They have a classic. They call it the Dave's Classic, which is just a burger. And I refuse to go to the drive-thru at Wendy's and say I'd like a Dave's Classic single or double. I just say I just want a number one.
Hey man, it's Dave's Classic, bro. It's a Dave's Classic.
Not doing that.
Yeah, and if you're not, and if until the Wendy's opens, don't forget I think it's on Wednesdays. There's Dave and Juan's famous weenie spaghetti. At Etouffee to go, Etouffee on the bayou.
Well,
I forget what they.
Yeah, that's right. You could get it to go, or you could sit down.
There you go. But we're talking about just local, local stuff. I don't know why, and I tried to get rid of it, but you try to unsubscribe and stuff like that Nextdoor app. I don't have the app. Okay, it's almost impossible to unsubscribe. I've tried, and they do that on purpose.
I cannot make myself. Now, I don't have the app. I just get the emails, so I've got to look at it online.
And you can never not get the damn emails. No. I've tried because it's like Facebook for crazier people.
Right. It's somebody posted on ours this morning, thank you to whoever, call the cops because we were playing music too loud. You could have just come knock on the door. There's not even a noise ordinance. And I clicked on it. I said, oh, they're tearing this woman up. They're going to tear her up. And sure enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah. People were saying, it's what kind of music were you playing? There's the difference. And
well, and of course, there is a noise ordinance. I'm sorry, man. I don't care where you live, especially if I can hear it. It's a noise ordinance. And by the way, who's inviting somebody to come over to their house late at night to bang on the door right? That always,
yeah, exactly. I don't know. You could shoot me.
That's always going to go well. That's always, we
Yeah,
had that
I'm
for,
just impressed that the cops actually went out.
yeah. I mean, for a little while, we had the house, which is now purchased, but the house right across the street from me was, and we knew the owners before, and they were great people, but they were leasing it or trying to lease it, and that's a hit or miss proposition, and they missed a couple times, and for the most part, I'm trying to get there, even though I'm a cranky. My wife's been saying I'm a cranky old man since I was 40, right? So I'm trying. I start playing the game of. They've rarely had it, but you have like a loud late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I can hear the bass right coming through, and but what are the options, man? What are you going to do? It's sort of, and then I'm looking. It's pretty contained. Nobody's outside in the yard. Nobody's, and I know the neighbors next to them are probably catching it. Right? You just play that. Do I call? Do I? No, I'm not.
Yeah. And then what I do is I try to turn off, if I'm awake and there's other stuff going on and I hear it, I try to turn off anything in my house that makes a noise, just so I can make sure that I'm hearing it to further aggravate myself.
I already hate these people. Let me see if I can hate them more. Yeah.
So,
But anyway, but
the next door thing, I think it's like people who, it's, I want to broadcast my stupidity in a bigger way than to just people who know me on my own social media.
But there you go. But I can't. I've tried to get off it. Weird stuff. Somebody put one yesterday. They had a possum in their backyard. They weren't sure if it was dead.
They should have called you.
Dead or dehydrated. And I was like, that's pretty easy to tell. Pretty easy to tell, right? If come back in an hour. If it hasn't moved, that's
mouth open, tongue hanging out.
Not plain dehydrated. That's not the point. But we had I think it's weird. I don't know if the stars lining up, whatever. 2 different friends / sort of neighbors in a 24-hour period texted us with pictures of dogs that they found looking for a home, and and my wife's funny this way because she knows I kind of want a dog, but I can't have a dog outside anymore. Well, right? I don't want to have a dog outside.
Thing too is I feel sorry for the animal, but I'd rather get me a new dog.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. No, I'm an adopt a stray kind of guy. Right?
Somebody else's problem.
Oh, come on, get a new dog. Yeah, go get some inbred, overpriced, going to have health issues dog.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah,
the only problem is they tend to last longer.
Which ones?
My new dogs. They're not new, but I've had them for like 12, 13 years.
Your new dogs, huh?
Yeah, my old new dog. My only dogs.
12, 13 years?
Yeah.
Oh man, that clock's unwinding on those, buddy.
That's right.
What's gonna happen when one goes?
I'm not getting another one.
Come on, you will.
No, I won't.
You will, man. You got to. It's lonely.
Yeah, well, I'll get Mr. Kitty to come over for a visit, as he's here right now.
That's probably my reason. I told my wife why I wouldn't right now, because I'm still it's funny how I am with this, because it's a cat, and I take care of the cat, and I don't really like it. Like it's because it just don't. I think it's very, very. It's a cat. Cats can take you or leave you, and but I just know I'd be making the cat's life a living hell if I bring in a dog right now. But we'll see. If you hear barking in the future on the Dave and Juan podcast,
if it's in a distance, it's yours. Or it's mine. If it's close, it'll be yours.
Probably what it is. So today, right before I hit the Popeyes, I had to swing into, and I don't know that it's a racket. It sort of makes me think it's a racket. I had to get my car inspected this week. Dude,
it's a tax. They just call it
freaking right. So I pushed it at the end of July, so I had to go in, leave my car. And the inspection itself is at the place is not, I guess they must cap what they can charge you. So I think here it's capped at like $25, $20 for the inspection. But then you got to bring it to, and near me, there's a a food town. Love my food town, a little grocery store here, and you can go get your window decal, right? But that's another $75, right? They
Wait, so you got to have two things?
to get, so it's $25 to get the inspection. To say that you, but basically you have to get your car inspected to be able to
qualify to spend
to get
$75.
to get 100. Yeah. That's annoying as all get out, man. Because I get on the road and I look around and man, I know that many
Oh,
many
dude.
of these cars, this ain't past the inspection. What are you
Well,
talking
we
about?
fessed up before that I bought one from on under the table from somebody because I knew my car wouldn't pass inspection.
I like how Juan confesses minor
But this
misdemeanors.
is right. This is the thing here. So you go, and the first thing they do is cut the old one off. They take the old one off so that if you don't pass inspection, they got to put the big, ugly orange one on there that flags everybody that you failed inspection, which is worse to me. Maybe I'd rather spend the $75.
Huh. I don't, yeah. No, I know
But down in Napoleonville, you could just go to somebody and slip them 20 and they'll give you one. They don't even come outside to look at your car.
Nice to know. Nice to know. I remember when we first, and I don't know how much more sophisticated they are now than they used to be, but I know when we first moved here, our friends that were here before us, he always said that. Yeah, if you got something you're not sure it's going to pass, bring it here. Bring it.
Right. Well, Joey actually went to get hers done the other day, and she's got a little crack in the windshield. And they recently changed the law that it used to be that if it was on the driver's side and it was in your field of vision, that it wouldn't pass. Now, if it's 8 inches anywhere on your car, it won't pass. So she went and talked to this guy, and she said, "Hey, before will you pass it?" And he said, "Yeah," and he did it. So,
man, I hate people. Not all people. I hate
most.
The people that sit around and come up with that nonsense. Like, really?
Right.
That's
right. And this is my whole thing with the inspection tag. I'm sure I've talked about this before. Here they'll pass, if your lights work, if your brake lights work, if your horn works. Well, tomorrow I could get stopped for my tail light being out, and the cop could write me a ticket if he wanted to. And I could say, "Oh, bro, I got this baby inspected yesterday. Look, it passed. My inspection sticker is current."
They do not care.
No.
They do not care. But yeah, so that's just one of those. It hit me again today, right? Now, and we've got in the family, and I guess I should hand off some of this stuff to my son. Should be taking care of this stuff for themselves now, and I think they are. But so four vehicles.
Yeah, but you don't, man. You'll keep that forever. It's like the whole thing. Me buying my son lunch. It's
oh yeah. Well, but I mean, if they're not living here,
I'm in your area. I'll swing by and pick up lunch for you if you want me to drop it off at your house.
Man, I don't even know what the rules are on. So I've got a son living in Louisiana. He's technically I think his technical residence is here. I got to look that stuff up, right? He's got a bedroom here. He's sort of here, but he goes to school in.
Well, for tax purposes, you want his residence to be your house.
Yeah, well, I think it is.
Doesn't have to live there, but his legal residence is your home.
Did I tell you that the other day? What happened when he did his own income tax? Well, no, he had to do his own, right? I mean, he does, but he gets.
But did he claim himself and screw you?
Yeah, he did. And that's a much bigger deal. But he didn't look. It wasn't his
because
fault.
he who claims first wins.
Well, we had to have him, and this is when the CPA. I don't even know what this cost me in the end to fix that freaking mess. Because
you had to file an amendment.
Amended. He had and he did. He had to amend saying, "Yo, my bad. Somebody can claim me as a dependent," to get that done. And then my CPA, because we had got a delay, a
right. You got an extension.
Extension. We got an extension. I don't know why the word wouldn't come to me. We got an extension. So she figured out what I owed. All right, there it was. And I'm kind of sick about, okay, I got to pay that. But then it's always, well, clock is ticking if you wait too long. And I don't know. I guess I don't even know what I was thinking, but she got it back to me, and I didn't realize we had to have him amend.
Right.
Because if I filed again,
you got to wait for his amendment to pass.
Oh, but get this. Once you try to file electronically, or once we let my CPA try to file electronically and it got delayed, denied, you can't file electronically again.
Oh,
you have to send in a hard copy. So all right, whatever. So I get back.
In your case, that hard copy is probably about 500 pages long.
It's not quite that, but it's not small. It's not one page. So, all right, no problem. Hey, so I get back and I just cut the check because I'm figuring, right, I'm going to send. She told me this is what I owed and whatever. So the check goes in, and I thought we were sending the thing, the return with it, but then we couldn't. So anyway, so the IRS got my check with no return.
Oh,
And they cashed it. They didn't. It didn't. It didn't collect any dust, right? I mean,
I'm gonna guess there might be more than one Dave Martin in Houston.
Man, let me tell you. So, dude, I'm gonna just hope everything is like it's supposed to be. But
Yeah, well, this is how bad I felt. We talking about, what do you do for your kids? So my son did that one time. Is probably how I know about that. Which then caused him to get a bigger return than he otherwise would have gotten. So when he had to file the amendment so that I could get my stuff right, he had to send back that portion of the money.
But of course.
So I paid
it. So you got stuck both ways, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it. You do it for, and
being
you're glad you can. That being all part of being a dad. Well, I'm going back tomorrow. So my son that's been away he's been here with us for 3 weeks. He's got a great job. They gave him July off.
Boy, really, man, that is sweet.
Well, they didn't pay him for it, but I mean, that's a nice. Who gets to tap out? Like college kid that's gonna go. So, so not good situation. But he's going back, so I'm gonna ride along, go spend some time, go see my mom and some folks. But it's that, all right. We. So if it's me, right? I'm leaving home. I've been here for a few weeks.
Normal time.
But it's like you're going back to Louisiana. Make sure you got all your stuff.
You're prepared. Make a list. Think about it before it's time to walk out the door.
I promise you that I have and am spending 32 times more mental energy. You got that?
Right.
You
got this? Losing years off your life.
You got that? Over it. You got, and I don't know. One day my wife just says, she's always saying, you just got to let it go. You just got to let it go. And I'm like, well, people aren't going to figure out how to do stuff until you stop doing it. I'm like, well,
dude, let me tell you something. So
okay.
Thursday night, my son in his new place.
Well,
Wednesday night, he texts me. He said, where can I get a key made? Like a key for the house. And I said, pretty much anywhere. You can go to Walmart, go to AutoZone, go to
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Yeah. And he said, well, I'm at Walmart. Where would it be? I said, in the automotive section. He said, but it's a house key. Same deal. Go. And I said, they may have this thing that's a digital key that they'll give you, or they give you a number. And if ever you need to make a key without a copy of the key, they can just cut it from there. So fine, he does that, and he texts me, the picture of the digital thing. And the next night, he texts and said, well, I was going to come to the house and pick up something, but I locked myself out. And I said, well, how did you lock yourself out? He said, I don't know. I just didn't think and locked the door and pulled it closed. Well, here, I got to lock my door with a key. So I said, what about the keys you bought last night? Oh, they're in my car. I never took them out of the car. And my car keys are in the apartment. Dude, it was all I could do to not say, well, if there's an extra car key here, I'll come over and unlock it. And I didn't do it, and I was feeling just anxiety to no end. But he called Papa Lock. They opened his car and got so he could get the extra house keys out.
Papa Lock can actually open a car? Is it?
Yeah.
That's still a thing. That's still a thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they could just do it with no level of ID or anything.
How? I'd like to see how Papa Lock does that. He just, because I'm thinking with us, it used to be that little,
like the coat hanger.
And those of you that don't see the video, I'm looking like I'm doing a plunger right now.
Right. Now what they do, they've got like a bladder, which is just a little bag thing that they stick in between the door and the door frame. And then they pump it up and it expands the space. It creates a gap. and then they've got a moldable rod that they can bend, so to speak. And it's got enough sturdiness to it that they'll work it in there and they'll hit your unlock button.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Mhm.
Well, they, you know what? I wish they do. I wish they would. What they ought to do is just put classes and just give everybody in San Francisco, all the homeless drug addicts, show them proper techniques so they can stop breaking people's windows.
Yeah,
right.
Well, heck,
Instead of giving them needles,
unlocking people's car.
Yeah, instead of giving them needles and hypodermics, whatever. I mean, or along with it, if you're just all bound and determined to keep people like that, just at least teach them how to break into a car without causing more damage. I'm a problem
Papa Lock can
solver,
pay him
Juan.
because trust me, the guys who come from Papa Lock don't typically look like somebody who you'd otherwise, want to give the knowledge to unlock any vehicle anywhere.
Don't you wonder if the auto glass repair shops, that's got to be a booming freaking business in those cities, right?
I'm pretty sure most people don't have insurance on that. And the side glass on your car is far more expensive to change than the windshield.
Is it? Yeah.
You got to take the door apart.
Been a while since I had to do that. I started earlier. That's how I went down different rabbit trails. So I'm in Food Town. I went in there to get to pay for my tag, to get my sticker, right? So while I'm in there, I'm like, oh, let me pick up some things. And I wanted to get baby powder. All right. I wanted to put just hot and everything. I put baby powder on when I run and stuff. I'm a baby powder kind of guy. And I don't know why. The food section, everything at this store is great, but ever since COVID, I don't know if they just lost their suppliers or what the deal is, but the pharmacy area of my beloved Food Town it's skimpy, man. It's skimpy. But the only powder I saw, and there's only 3 of them, there's a yellow container, and the brand is Olerex, OLOREX. I will put for those of you that are watching the video, I will end up putting a picture of this. But so and I'm looking at it, it's Olerex, right? Since 1980, which isn't that old, right? I mean, 1980. So apparently this company, it's Popeyes Classic. Now, I don't know. Okay. It's foot deodorant powder. That's what it's called, right? What caught my attention is the fine, not so fine print right underneath that on the front label. Warning, the safety of this product has not been determined. So I'm like, wait a minute. It's been around since 1980.
How long does it take, or do you not have to?
That's 40.
Your feet will smell good. They may fall off.
That's 43 freaking years. 43 freaking years, man.
Still in the testing phase.
They okayed a worldwide vaccine in like 3.5 days.
Dude.
And Olerex foot powder's 43 years in waiting on the safety. But on the back of it, it's manufactured by a Farmacéutica Cell. Anyway, it's a product of Mexico. So there you go, Mexico.
See, that's a supply issue. I guarantee you that.
So the ingredients, for those of you that are sitting there saying, gee, Dave, did you look at the ingredients to see whether it may be safe? I did. So, but here's the deal. Do you trust the ingredients when they tell you on the front of the bottle, they tell you, hey, we don't know if this crap's safe. I mean,
bruh, it's up to you.
We think it is. I mean, I promise you, there've been like 4 million farm workers that have used this stuff. Right. They seem to be all right, but hey, gringo, I don't know. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
but
it's on you.
So the ingredients are talc. Okay. Talc. That makes sense.
Yeah, then talcum powder.
Sodium bicarbonate. Okay. That seems like
sounds like an ingredient to me.
Okay. The third ingredient is diatomaceous earth.
Tomato dirt. The dirt of a tomato plant.
Diatomaceous, DIATOMACEOUS. I have no idea what that means. As soon as I started doing it, SIRI kicked on my computer here to try to tell me. Probably should have let it. But earth. It sounds like dirt, right? Is that just a way of?
Right. Yeah.
And then fragrance, and then benzalkonium chloride. That might be the thing they're scared of.
Yeah. The dirt could be, the natural way to get the stink off your feet.
Could be. And it even said, look, I mean, what I also love too is when they take, and I'm guessing they just make this stuff in whatever in Mexico, and they just slap a label on it, and it's some cheap powder. And but you can tell it's when they don't really spend a whole bunch of time thinking, what's this sound like in English? Right? What? Right? So it's foot deodorant powder Olerex. It's on the back label. For after bathing, period. It avoids bad odor and refreshes your feet all day.
Hey.
So it's one of those things, you know what they're saying, but I don't think that's how you want to.
Nah.
They didn't know grammar check on that, right? They just went, but
translation is not always accurate. So,
but you know what? I couldn't pull the trigger. I could not buy it. I was
didn't get it?
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Johnson & Johnson baby powder guy.
Oh,
it smells.
I could do some Equate. I could do some, you name it, some Walgreens. It's just what threw me off was that. But here's the deal too. I think we've come to realize over the past few years that just because the FDA or
approves
whatever,
man,
that don't mean jack, right? That don't mean jack. So the fact that they didn't approve this stuff, I should not hold. You know what? I'm gonna have to go buy me one of the remaining 3 bottles of Olerex, or I should have bought it. And then when I pulled into the Popeye, I said, "Yo, bro, anybody in there can tell me about this stuff?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, we use that all the time. That stuff's the best."
Put that on the classic chicken.
That stuff's the best, man. Olerex. But there you go. That's what threw me off when they have to put on the label. Hey, the safety of this product.
And we didn't test it.
Has not been proven. Proven.
So talking about hot feet. So the other day I had to drive unexpectedly to Lake Charles and back. And back, I'm talking about I go to Lake Charles, I walk in an office, and I said, "Here you go." And I turned around and drove back. That's about a 2.5 hour drive each way from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Driving back, there had been a wreck on the bridge that morning. So a truck caught on fire. So one lane of the bridge was closed. So it was closer to 3.5. And
which bridge?
Not the Spillway Bridge, the Mississippi River Bridge.
Oh, okay. So no, I was hoping you were saying it wasn't the Lake Charles Bridge, because that thing looks like it's ready to go anyway.
Right. But we had done a presentation that morning, to do a pitch presentation. So I'm dressed nice. I got regular shoes on instead of tennis shoes. I had a long sleeve button down shirt on. The Jeep, to be able to take that roof off, it's not an insulated thing, so it's basically fiberglass top. Well, there's no, if you're driving slow in heat, it's hot in there. I don't care how hard you got the AC blowing. So I'm getting uncomfortable, man. How long is this? So then I said, well, I'm just taking my shoes off. So took my shoes off. So, I didn't eat foot powder. My feet didn't smell. And a little while later, I'm still uncomfortable. So I take my socks off.
So you've got on a dress shirt.
Barefoot.
Right. Button down dress shirt, long sleeve. Undershirt?
No undershirt. I can't do undershirts.
That was your mistake. Mistake. Yeah. Okay. Because all right. So you got a long sleeve, dress pants, and now you're barefoot. And now you're barefoot.
Now I'm barefoot.
Ooh, like a couillon.
Then I'm starting to think, because traffic's moving slow. Yeah, your mind's wandering. I said, what happens if I get stopped by a cop? That freaking pavement is hot as all get out. I can't be walking out there barefoot. And I said, the cops here, they like you to come to the car.
Do they?
So now the thought's in my head. I said, okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is roll down the window and put both my hands on the windowsill so that the cop sees that I don't have a gun and wave him to come. Because if I bend down, start grabbing my shoes, this dude's gonna think I'm going for a weapon. And so I died barefoot.
These were going through that was going through your mind, huh? That was You're not tough like that guy in Thibodeau the other day with the alligator on one shoulder and one shoe or one flip flop, whatever he had on.
Yeah.
So
that's my thinking process.
But these days it's so dang hot. There are times you're not normally. I never thought of that with Jeeps are not well insulated as far as
the roof,
as that goes. But you know what they're setting us up for, and I don't think we talked about this last week, but I'm telling you, they're setting us up for this. Have you noticed on your apps do you use a like a map do you often?
Yeah.
You notice have you been getting heat warnings, heat advisories?
Yeah.
Man, they're setting us up, guys. They're setting us up. They want everybody to think that things are different now. And it's all coming, man. It's all coming. They all want to push. We're doing that. We're making everything hotter than it used to be. And of course, always remember, whenever they give you stuff that was a near record, you know what that means? It was hotter before. It was hotter before. I love when they throw out.
It's so hot, you'll enjoy the cold showers when we tax the heck out of your water heater.
Well, there you go. That's how they get you, yo. That's how they get you. Random stuff, but I jotted this down because it jumped out to me. Babies born in Louisiana have the best odds of becoming pro athletes.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now, that's a plus because for the most part, all our lives, if you started off the sentence with babies born in Louisiana,
right,
we can come up with a long list of stuff that, they're not likely to do.
It could be because you got the shortest, the least probability of making it to adulthood. Therefore, the per capita skews on the athlete side.
They didn't show their math. They didn't show their math. But on the article, I remember seeing the picture on it was Peyton Manning, and I'm like, come on now. Yes, technically Peyton Manning is from Louisiana, but that's
that's the exception. So Archie Manning, not from Louisiana, though has contributed to 3 of the people on that list at least.
Right.
Or I'm assuming Arch will become a professional athlete.
Garden District, Archie Manning. Yep.
Yeah. But I guess I don't know. Is it football? Is it what? Is it I know LSU
it's just pro athletic.
produces a lot of
basketball. It's all of it. Players. It's basketball. I don't think it's much baseball. It's pretty much football. I want to say any given year, give or take, that LSU has the most NFL players, alumni.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just but so there you go, just something. Now look, y'all that are
don't be shooting for
this,
rocket scientist or
well, no. Here's the point. Here's the point. Everybody sitting down there and wherever you are right now saying, "Oh man, bro, that's why hey, make your kids learn math, okay? Make your kids I don't care.
Yeah, it's still a pretty low probability.
I don't care how far T-Boy can throw a ball or how fast T-Nu can run. Probably even though you're in Louisiana, and technically they say, Louisiana babies have the best odds. They're not good odds. They're not good odds. But the only place lower odds is if you're an 8th grader in LeBron James's. You saw this?
I saw that, yeah.
I promise. So LeBron, you might remember this a few years back, and I wrote down the year. It was 2018. Big to do, man, because LeBron, he's the greatest thing ever, and he'll tell you that. Ask him.
Right.
LeBron will tell you he's the greatest thing ever. So he started this school, and when they say he started this school, what the frustrating thing about that to me was, slapped his name on it. He gave
a lot of money.
No. He gave he might have given $1 million, couple million. And look, that's a lot of money to us. To that guy, it's total tax. It's total.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
He saved more than that in taxes.
It's a total, and the taxpayers are on he's not funding that school every year. It's not like, he started this thing and he's paying for this school. He got all the he's wonderful, all this other stuff. Okay, anyway, the school's it's called the I Promise School. It's been open since 2018. Hey, they're pretty good at math. The I Promise School has not had a single student pass the state's math test since it opened in 2018. Went to the fifth year of this school. Not one.
I'm
Not
gonna go ahead
one.
and guess the state math test is not the hardest thing.
I don't know, man. I don't. Here's my thing. Not one. Not one. And there may be all kinds of trust me. That's sad. That's not. You make the point. I pointed out for the hypocrisy and all the stuff that nobody follows up on these kind of things, right? These people, they just like, oh, you probably
LeBron's so good. LeBron's so
man. He cares.
Where would those kids be without LeBron?
He cares. Yeah, he cares a lot, and he got
Maybe passing math.
That tax write-off. Please. I mean, at some point, you gotta go. Wait, like none, zero, none. 8th grade, none. So I don't know. So I don't know what the math test looks like, Juan. We should.
Well, I'm going to read you a letter now from a guy who probably also didn't pass the 8th grade math test, no matter which state he went to school. So we've been cleaning out storage around here, trying to get rid of our storage unit finally. And this predates me and my wife being married. Thus, you'll see she's got a different last name. Okay. As well as social media. It's probably in the early 2000s. So she used to work at the same hospital I did, in the education department, and she did a class. She used to be like over like child education and safety courses and stuff like that. So there was an article in the paper one day, and her picture was in it. Well, not long after, she gets this letter at work. So excuse me for reading, but it's got a decent handwriting.
Okay.
Dear Miss Lee. To her former last name. Okay. I hope this letter finds you in the best of health and spirits. Okay. I realize that this letter will surprise you. It will probably shock you. Smile. Miss Lee, I was reading the paper recently when I came across an article with your photo, and I was so impressed and so taken by your beauty as I was interested in the article. Miss Lee, my daughter recently had to drop out of school to have a baby. She says that she might eventually go back, but I realize that it may not be this year. In the article about the Family Road, this program, there were several courses that a person can take. I was wondering if a list could be sent to me so I could send it to her. That would be something positive and beneficial for her. My second reason for this letter is you, Miss Lee.
It took a dark turn right there. I was about to say, Juan, that's a lovely letter. Besides the slightly creepy beauty thing in the front, I was about to say, up to this point, it's a lovely, lovely letter. He should have
just wait.
Right,
folks, hang on to the end. I promise you. Miss Lee, I mentioned earlier how I was taken with your beauty, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in corresponding with me. All I'm looking for is a friendship, someone to share feelings and ideas with. I realize that you may be involved with someone, and if that is the case, please forgive my intrusion. But if it's possible, I'd like to get to know you. Well, I've taken enough of your time, so I will end for now. I hope that you'll take the time to respond to this letter, even if it's just to let me know that you received it. Take care, Miss Lee. Signed, Darrell Lee, no relation to her. Camp J, Louisiana State Penitentiary, Angola, Louisiana.
Man, dude.
The prisoner letter.
A nice one.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? One of my favorite phrases when we used to coach basketball, shooters got to shoot. Shooters got to shoot. Take your shot. Man, very nice. You think he wrote it himself, or did somebody write it for him?
I don't know. But apparently he wasn't satisfied with no response, as he said he would be, because a couple of weeks later, I was back when people had landlines, her phone rings and she gets a call
Wow.
Collect call from Daryl Lee at Angola State Penitentiary.
Yay. Nice. This is before she even knew you.
Now I knew her. We weren't married or anything then. I knew her. We were friends. So
You ever look up? Hey, did you look up Daryl? What's up? What's up with Daryl?
I
Was
do.
He
I did find out. I looked him up the other day when this letter resurfaced. I couldn't find anything on him, but he was in maximum security, I think, for murder.
okay.
And when
Do they even keep you in jail for that anymore? I mean,
yeah, this was back like 20 something years ago. So yeah,
depending on the
murder
city
was
now.
still a crime. Yeah,
murder was a crime back in those days. Okay.
But he called. She didn't take the call, so he called back a little later. So yeah, she called me. I went over and I called Angola, and basically at that time you had to be, as opposed to the prisoner having to get permission to call you, you had to just proactively say, call the phone company and say, I don't want any calls from the state prison. But so I said, well, how does he get, this dude just got a random phone book. How does he get, can he call director assistants? And they said, no, what they do is they'll get like a visitor, like he got her picture on the paper, to look up her number in the phone book.
Nice.
And then,
nice. Hey man, they got all the time in the world, right? They can only, whew.
So that's it for this week's segment of Letters from Prison.
How long ago was that now? You've been married for a bit.
About 20 years. Yeah.
You've been married for a minute. You think he's still
I think it was like 2000. I don't know. I couldn't find. There's Daryl Lee. Apparently is a common name.
Okay.
So
it's a common name, bro. But you got to think that it is. I'm being a convicted murderer kind of weeds down. Like it's that weeds out a lot of them.
The life expectancy in prison is probably less than the probability of becoming a pro athlete if you're born in Louisiana.
Probably well, but I would bet, depending on what neighborhood or what town you're in, you probably got a better life expectancy inside Angola than maybe not a better lifestyle, but
right. Then parts of Baton Rouge.
I wonder if he ever partook. Partook. Is that? I don't know if it's partake. Partook. Yeah, partook's a word. In the
word now.
Exactly. Thank you. In the Angola rodeo.
That's only, those guys are the more lower security prisoners.
Is it? No, I thought they let the axe murderers go, because those are the ones that they ain't getting out. They don't care.
And I saw some video of this the other day and it reminded me. I've only been to the Angola rodeo once, but they do this thing where they it's like they put a card on a bull's head and they let the bull run wild, and then they've got these guys in there and they basically have to try to take the card off of the bull. Okay. And the winner gets money for like a pack of cigarettes or something.
That's right. The winner gets to go to the front
to
of the commissary. The front of the emergency room line for being trampled by a bull.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's cool, man. The bull will throw him all over the place.
He gets the respect of all his peers, all his peers. So what was that Lee's guy's name again?
Daryl.
All right, Daryl, if you're watching, right, hey, man, we hope
I'm
or
married
listening
to Miss Lee. 2 R's, 2 L's.
And the poor guy, if he's watching on video, he's looking and says, "Oh, I never had a chance. She got that guy."
That's right. You knew chances were slim to begin with.
That guy looks like the kind of guy to be going down the interstate in a Jeep with no shoes on. That's what that guy looks like.
Yeah, or it looks like the kind of guy I could kill.
Well, he has some practice. The more random stuff, man, and I don't know why it just jumped out at me. They claim there was a rare, it's called a Rice's whale. And it's like rice as in RICE''S. I have no idea. It was the guy, I guess the guy that discovered them, whatever. A rare Rice's whale was spotted off Galveston, about 100 miles, they say out there. Now here's where I call BS.
I didn't know there were whales in the Gulf.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get out 100 miles, I think, is actually kind of close. considerably, but it's pretty. You know, the Gulf of Mexico is one of the deepest. Some of the parts of the Gulf of Mexico is incredibly deep. But they claim,
marine biology, but that was it.
It's one of those things you took it in the 2 days after the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's some of the easy purge. Your mind eat just like.
I just remember if you get caught in a riptide, swim left or swim right.
Right. Control out, delete. And what I just recently learned when I was in Florida, that and float. Just let it take you. Let it take you. Don't fight it. Let it take you. But they claim, and this is what I was getting to, that there are only 50 to 100 of these whales left. And
how do they know that?
Thank you. Like, you follow me? Like, who? What's the estimate? Now, granted, we know we have a huge audience in marine biologists out there, and I'm sure they're all.
Yeah, let us know. George Costanza, let us know.
Right? So how in the hell would you know in something as vast as the Gulf of freaking Mexico? And that's not saying who else they may be.
Right.
That there's only 50 to 100 left. Really? But and the fisherman that saw it and got a little video of it, right? He couldn't get within. He get about 100 yards from it. And he said something interesting, that there may be more sightings out there where the fishermen, because they have these charter boats and they just, they book it. They're commercial. When I say commercial fishermen, they're not like catching, they're not trawlers. They bring people deep sea fishing.
Right. They're captains type deal. They'll take you out.
The environmentalists are trying to put a speed limit on how fast they can go out 100 miles out, how fast they can go, I guess, for the safety of
the
whales. And that's what they're saying, that would devastate their business. First of all, where's there going to be a speed trap? Like,
what you got? The wildlife and fisheries guy just anchored out there 98 miles offshore.
We're gonna spend like a few $1 million to have helicopters flying around doing radar out there. So they're worried about saving whales. Now, mind you, they're building these freaking windmills and crap off the coast of the East Coast, and miraculously, whales are turning up dead everywhere.
Right, got nothing to do with that.
Nothing at all. All of a sudden, they're putting these massive crap things, and it's killing whales like crazy. But I guess those whales are dying for a good reason.
All kind of frequencies in the water, all kind of stuff in there that's not
totally messing up their sonar. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like whales and that navigate by. Yeah, they can't. So they're getting beached. They're dying left and right. And oh, by the way, these windmills that are spread out all across the country kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions of birds. I'm
gonna guess, it's got to surface at some point. But my guess would be that a rhesus whale probably is typically deeper than any part of a fishing vessel would be.
I guess they come up every now and then, but my thing is, like, has anybody ever hit one?
Right.
But look, okay, this is, and again, I don't want to get it totally wrong, but it's always been in my head, so I hope I'm right on this. It's just like years ago, and I guess they still probably have to use turtle excluder devices.
The TEDs, bro.
No more TEDs, bro. When they were claiming, that you talk to these trawlers that have been on the water forever, that would tell you, we have never caught.
Yeah, 3 generations of shrimpers.
What is it called? Ridley? Was it the Ridley?
I think it was, the Ridley sea turtles.
And the same time where they're devastating all the folks that are trying to make a living tripping here, over in Mexico, they're eating the eggs. Like the turtles. Right. No lie. It was totally cool. Like that was like something what they did, right? These Ridley sea turtles, good turtle eggs. But there you go.
My nephew used to pick, it became illegal, but he knew this guy when he was in high school. He had a turtle pond, like the little redneck turtles or whatever they call them. The turtles that people now, I think they can give you salmonella, so you're not supposed to keep them for pets.
Right.
But they would go pick eggs, and he would sell them to, I think, China, someplace in China, because they were considered aphrodisiacs.
And he was getting these out of Louisiana?
Yeah, my nephew would pick them for him. He'd go walk the pond every couple of days, pick a bunch of eggs, and the pond guy, the guy who owned the pond, would sell the eggs for good money.
Aphrodisiac turtle
'Cause
eggs.
apparently in Japan at the time, or China, they didn't have any Axe body spray to attract the ladies.
Boom. You know what? On that note, Juan, things time to punch. I think it's time to
Yeah, bro. I think it's been
hit the button. We're gonna get on out of here. The buffet has been put before you
served up.
with whales and convicts and turtle
You
eggs.
got classic, you got spicy, you got Wendy's.
Man, you
You
got
got some powder in case your feet sweating.
but we do not guarantee the safety
All right.
of the Mexican foot powder. Probably the
Right.
best thing. I'm gonna.
Right.
I hope they didn't sell out today. I'm gonna get back there to do it. All right. So if you don't want to send us a physical letter, written freehand, like
From jail. But if
From
you
jail.
do,
hit us up. Well, I'll tell you
send
what.
it
If
to
you
Juan
do,
in Pankerville, I'll get it.
he will. Juan Seminole, Pankerville, Seminole Street. Hit him. Hit him up. His dad will make sure he gets it. But if you want to be a little more electronic, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And there's, you know how to find us. There's a plethora.
Yeah, or comment wherever you are. Because
Comment.
that's where we are too.
Because Juan reads them all. I don't. He does.
That's right. I try
I'll
to
read
respond
some.
to them.
Yeah, he does. Juan will say, "Did you read?" Like, nope, didn't see it. Did they say they love us? I want to hear it. If they say they didn't love, that's okay. Don't need to know. I got enough things to think about on a daily basis.
Right. You got to think about your sweaty feet.
That's
and
right.
Keeping them safe.
I don't put that on my feet, man. When I put that in other places when you run, it kind of, right,
Yeah. I use Glide, not that I run.
because I'm old. I'm old, and when you're old, stuff rubs. So you gotta just,
Right.
throw
I
some
remember every
powder
year on
down
my
there.
Facebook, when I was at the beach and I get a Facebook memory that's a picture of my thing of Glide and it says, some people like to run on the beach. I like to glide.
He's a wordsmith. Y'all. Hey, every week, it ain't a suggestion, it ain't a recommendation.
not
We're
even
not subtly
close, bro.
implying a freaking thing, y'all.
We don't need
Please.
no FDA approval for this.
No.
Nothing.
It's a freaking
It's a freaking
mandate. It's
You
a mandate.
gotta do it.
Get out there, try to live the best week of your life. You know what I'm saying? You're here. It's a good week already. You hear us, right?
Right.
Might have been
Still got
rough.
6 days left of the week.
Man,
less.
get at it. Take on the week like a guy that just downed a fistful of aphrodisiac turtle eggs from a turtle pond in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just
Raleigh St. Vincent,
there you go.
south of Napoleonville.
Ask for him by name. But yeah, man, get out there and take it. We'll get back next week and compare notes and see how it all,
Hey, do it
all
again.
went. But yeah, so I'm going to be in Louisiana for a little bit this week, and we'll have a report for you next week.
All right.
We'll see
Good
what-
luck getting that boy settled in.
You ain't lying. Give me good luck.
Yeah,
I don't think
settling
he
in
needs
is
the
the
luck.
easy part. Getting him out is the hard part.
That might be it. But anyway, until then, everybody have a great one. We're done. All right.
We're done.
Love you, bro.
We're done. Back at you, dude. My sister called me this week. Apparently my dad got a scam phone call.
Jeez.
Wasn't AI generated, I don't think. But and my dad doesn't hear well, but he's got a phone that amplifies sound so he can hear a little better. That probably helps if he has hearing aids on, which he doesn't typically if he's home by
Rarely.
himself.
Yeah.
So he gets the call. Yeah, he answers it. Grandpa, it's me. I'm in jail and I need your help. Well, shockingly, he thinks, okay, well, none of my grandkids call me Gramps. They don't call me Grandpa. But he's not understanding the whole thing. So he's asking, what? Who's this? And, I'm sure they're saying me. And, again, still not hearing. So he keeps asking questions. And apparently the caller got aggravated because he kept asking questions. And they just hung up on him.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Who? What you want?
You back in jail again?
Yeah, you need to call Kim. Kim's my daughter. She tends to all that stuff.
I didn't bail your dumb butt out last time. Why you think I'm gonna do it now?
Yeah. So-
You owe me money.
It's over. Go home.